Hey folks, Sylvius here. This is sort of the last mission of Creeper World. There's still the Alpha Sector, the Prospector Zone, and the Tormented Space. But we're here in the Cricket system at Arca. There is no archive thing here, so I'm just going to explain a little bit while we're going into this. The way this mission works is, I'm going to restart world. Okay. Do I get... Alright, I have to actually hit the archive. So let me explain real quick. This is our map. It's kind of a wonky map. This map has, at the middle point, a divergent path where you can go one of two different ways, and the two ways are radically different. And after you go one, obviously, you can't, like, go backwards to the other one without restarting the map, so to say. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do 3 videos on this map. The first video is the preparatory work before the path diverges, and then we'll do, I'll stop the video there and I'll save my game at that point. Then we will do the first path, which will be a second video, and then I will come back, reload from the point right before it diverges, and we will do the third path. Good, good. Alright, so let's do our archive transmission. Laya, this world seems familiar. I recognize that central structure in the surrounding stations. How can that be, Scars? I'm not sure. Are there any signs of the Loki? Perhaps this is their doing and all some sort of deception? Nothing, Scars. Nothing at all. After everything we have been through, all I detect are cold machines. But machines with a purpose I now clearly understood. You see it too, then. These 6 stations are receiving incomprehensible amounts of data from across the universe. And they're feeding it to a central... and there I sneezed in the middle of it. A central core. How? How do you... I just do, Laya. I see things now. That central core is constructing what the Sailor called the Arca, and the Loki were right to react to knowledge of it. Yes, from all that I have learned, I see this as well, but still I don't fully understand the purpose of the Arc. The Arc is a universal singleton, Laya, something of which only one may exist. There can be no other, and once made it cannot be unmade. The Arc forms an absolute reference point across all space, time, and alternate eventualities. How is such a thing possible? How is such a thing even possible to construct, and how do you? It isn't being constructed, it's simply being revealed. It exists through all space and time for this universe, Laya. Once revealed, it will provide access to any time, any location, even alternative eventualities. Every decision, every decay of every subatomic particle, every choice, every random event spread across the entire history of the universe are all mapped to a fabric. That fabric has its origins in the Arc. To reveal the Arc requires knowledge of a massive amount of space and time. Don't you see, Laya? Don't you see now? How do you know all this, Scars? The Creeper's purpose wasn't simply to destroy, it was to record. It collected knowledge of everything it touched, and it remembered trillions and trillions of worlds covered with Creeper across billions of years, harvesting information. Can't you see how elegant this and beautiful this was, Laya? Scars, are you sure? Humans and their many civilizations were a bounty of complexity, an ever-renewing fountain of information. But there were many others in many other galaxies. Now all of that knowledge will finally allow the Loki to pinpoint and reveal the Arc Eternal. We should stop this, Scars. Right? Yes, of course. Access to the Arc would allow the Loki total mastery of everything. They could rewrite the course of events in this universe. This must be prevented. From what I can determine, it should be as simple as taking those 6 stations offline. They are processing incoming aether beams using a technology that I don't understand. But their power source is simple. They need Creeper to function. So clear away the Creeper from the stations and they go offline. That will buy some time. Then we can destroy those stations with nullifiers and prevent the Loki from revealing the Arc. Yes, but let's begin. Alright, I'm going to pause immediately. Alright, so the stations here are creating Creeper, so is this central point here. I don't think it'll tell me how much Creeper it's creating. No, it won't. They're shooting the little beams up there. That's going to fill up into percentage points. I think this is mostly pretty self-explanatory right now. Right? Like, nobody's confused. Good. So what we've got here is a kind of a strange map, to be honest. This central point is where our Creeper is being made. We've got a wall of height 10, and this is height 3, and we're also height 3 out here. So we've got a decent wall giving us a very decent leeway. I said at the beginning that there's a divergent path here. There is, in fact, a divergent path. The Creeper, and I'm telling you this now, even though it's kind of a spoiler, the Creeper does not come out of that until we hit our divergent path. You do not need weapon systems. You do not need anything. Build a Creeper network right now. I'm sorry, not a Creeper network, a collector network. God, I'm falling apart. Obviously, don't put one of your command nodes in the center of the ring, but put your command nodes wherever you think the best spot is. The first time I did this, I put one right here, I put one right here, and I put one up here, but that made getting up around this a little bit rough. So I tried to put him a little bit more north, and I tried to put him all the way on the side. It doesn't really make a difference, but, you know, whatever. Don't underestimate how much energy you will actually be using in this mission, because you will be using a decent amount of it. So don't think to yourself, well, I've got this whole thing like covered with energy collectors, I'll be perfectly fine. You are probably still going to want like energy generation upgrades from the forge for starters, and you're probably going to actually maybe need some generators. Anything important though, do not build it on the bottom level. Trust me, just don't do it. Like Berthas or your Forge, do not build them on the bottom level. I'm actually not sure how much damage Berthas or the Forge can take before they break. I'm not sure if the answer to that is none, or if the answer is like a decent amount, but I just would not risk that. So yeah, like right now, as I actually said, we are just trying to build a creeper network. I did it again. Collector network. So yeah, that is our goal right now. I do want to make sure... Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure I wasn't accidentally blocking that with that collector. And... yeah, and time is actually a, like, resource right now. You cannot stop this. I mean, see how it's already at 16%? Like, you cannot stop this. I have actually, honestly, not tried, but I can't imagine you would be able to do it. The Creeper Flood is actually, like, somewhat intense in there in the first place. And I don't know how you would get enough weapons over there. You also might want to consider terraformers, not at this early stage, but eventually, because if you build up on this wall a little bit so that you can actually have, like, firing platforms, you don't need the terraformers for, like, a defensive line, like I often do. Like, you're not building additional walls, in other words, is what I'm saying. But yeah, you might use them to create firing platforms to fire into that, which might make your life a little bit easier. Do not avoid going straight up to the thing. You might end up, like, losing stuff. You probably will. But yeah, just roll with it. Also, by the way, this whole time, I did actually make this video previously, but the video ended up being, like, extraordinarily long because I was caught off guard by a whole bunch of things I didn't realize were going to happen. Which is super annoying when it happens, just for the record. But yeah, so that happened. And, whoa! I don't know what... Oh, thanks, AVG. Okay. Yeah, I just love when, my antivirus software is acting more like spyware than it is protection from spyware. Makes me all, warm and fuzzy inside. If AGV wasn't, like, free and mostly functional, I would definitely get rid of it, because I definitely don't like it. How's that for a, what's the word? Endorsement. Okay, so we are still just kind of expanding our collector network. I keep saying that now. It's gonna stick with me for the rest of my life now. Alright, that one. Can we get one up there? I'm actually going to build this ore miner just because I want to make sure I know what I'm getting into. There we go. Good enough. And there. So we should go there. This one needs a little bit more work. So yeah, as I was kind of saying before I got distracted by AVG sucking. So I did do the one path of this, but I didn't do the other path, so that one will still be a learning experience for me, I suppose. I'm definitely overwhelming my energy networks right now, which I'm not meaning to be doing. work on this one more. And can I still get the ore miner? Nope. See, and that's why I check. Destroy. I don't want that one there. This map, you kind of, I guess, can't exactly tell. It's actually kind of large, so I'm zoomed out a decent bit right now. I guess I can zoom in a little bit more. But I actually want to see that info. I'll just stay zoomed out. Whatever. Whatever. Yeah, so we're at 40% filled on that. Once it's at like 99, somewhere around there, is when I'm going to end the video, essentially, and save my game. I just have to keep making sure I'm paying attention to it. Also. And once we connect these, they'll be able to share their energy. And there we go. I don't even care. There we go. And hopefully that's not destroying everything. And down here. Right there. There we go. I will build that miner. Should probably build this one too. So we are going to ultimately want anti-creeper. Anti-creeper actually is pretty useful in this map. It does help you make a beachhead inside of the actual inside of the wall. Anti-creeper is actually always useful on maps that it exists. I can't imagine there's ever a map where there wasn't anti-creeper, or where there was anti-creeper where I was like, I'll be fine without it. It's kind of the perfect weapon system. It deals more damage than the pulse cannons, and it provides like a defense, sort of, in a manner of speaking. Surprised I'm still not overwhelming. Okay, now I'm overwhelming that one's energy networks. What are we at? 53%. Yeah, and just keep in mind too, pause is definitely your friend. I don't know if somebody's like got it in their mind to play this game without pausing because they think it's like a more natural way or something like that, but pause is definitely your friend in this map. You're gonna hate your life if you're not pausing. Alright, right there, there, there. Good enough. Ah, that one little spot right there. And there too. Wow, that's killing me. I'm thinking, I haven't really expanded down on this side. We're at 61%. By the way, unlike that other mission where there was a timer, there isn't a lose condition in this one other than like being destroyed. So you can play it like defensively. I would advise against it because the map does get harder the longer time goes around. But be aware that it is technically an option. We're going to build my relay networks now. I want relays to the ore, as best we can at least. But I also want relays kind of connecting our command nodes. There we go. I also want to be a little bit cautious because I don't want to kill my my energy. All right, that's good. Where can I? Ah, right there. Perfect. And maybe there. Good enough. All right. Actually, we're gonna go this way too. I'm kind of hoping that I can kind of use that to like leapfrog the creation. Well, there goes my energy. Knew it was gonna happen. What are we at? 71%. Yeah, like missions like this sort of, it irritates me in a sense in video games. It's like those like RPGs that have boss fights that you can't win at. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's a lot of times where it's like, oh, you're meeting the boss of the game and he's gonna curb stomp you. But like you don't know that before you get into the fight, so you're thinking like, do I just need to stall long enough for like an ally to come help me? Do I just suck? Like, am I just weak? Do I need to like be more liberal with my items and then you use like all of your healing potions or something for a mission that you couldn't have succeeded in the first place? Like, I hate when games do that. And that's kind of how I feel with like these timed missions right here, where I'm like, you know, they kind of should have told me in advance that it was impossible to succeed. Luckily, you have me for that. I'll tell you in advance that it's impossible for you to succeed. But yeah, like, if you knew about that in advance, you could kind of, like, instead of working on a system to try to attack these, like, frantically, you could just be like, well, I know this is impossible, so... Alright. My, energy, like, collector network isn't necessarily built, but it is in fact all planned. Now, I'll tell you this, spore towers are going to show up in the middle of that, so you're going to want a ring of beam cannons. So, I'm going to start making those. The spore cannons are not going to be, I'm sorry, the spore towers are not going to be attacking frequently or in large amounts, but because you surround the entire, like, enemy area, you need to kind of protect your entire side. Like I said, though, it's not that big of a deal. Also, while I did say that this map gets harder the longer time goes around, so it kind of wants you to not fight defensively, in a sense. As a second bonus to fighting aggressively, there's a lot of emitters and spore towers, which will give you more of those little things that give you enhanced fire rate. So I'm just going to unpause. We're at 97, 98, 99, and that's it. Alright. Alright, folks. That's it here. This is the, like, prep work. I actually think I did a pretty good job. We've got an energy network, a collector network, except for right there. One spot I missed. Alright, we've got a... I guess right there, too. Okay. Alright, yeah, we've got the whole map full of areas that I can reasonably have energy collectors down. We've got them down. And our beam cannons are all almost built. The rest will be built in, like, seconds. And we've also got a relay system connecting everything. We're looking pretty good right now. Everything's connected, everything looks solid, and we're at 99%, so... I will have a little annotation up here and over here. I'm gonna circle them real quick, because I love doing this. One will be there, one will be there. Aw, yeah. I love doing that. That will take you to the different parts. So this one will take you to the, I guess, the good ending, and this one will take you to the bad ending. Alright, folks, that's it for this video. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe, check me out on Patreon, Twitter, Facebook. I will see you folks once you click on one of those buttons.